It's 7:03, or 6:03. I'd like to open up the Raleigh Water Commission meeting. First order is to accept the minutes of 5/15/2013. Do we have any comments, questions, or concerns?
Excuse me, I have no questions.
Okay, so I've looked at it. I think that it's fine. The only comment I would have is that when we have situations out there, we would be more diligent on getting out many names of many contractors able to do the work that we work on, that we use, and then give that to some of the public that they have any water needs, water repair needs. So,
No, I think what we should do is give them, like the woman that came in the other night there, at least three names. That way they would not favoritised and using just one.
okay.
I have a list of, if we're gonna use TW, Pyburn, and whoever else or whatever.
I think that was
Laura
the,
or Rob pass that out to the people, that's all. That way they would not making it look like we're favoritizing one person.
yeah, I think that was our intent in the comments section last time, so.
I think we should, excuse me, I think we should not mention any names.
Well, people call, they wanna know who they can call to get.
Ask the neighbor.
We could have
Just move to town.
we could have a list here of even 3 names, 6 names, or whatever, and say this is a list if you wanna try one of these people, that's up to you. They do good work, and they work for us, or whatever. But just giving out one name, I don't think is right.
What's your concerns, Stewie?
I just feel there should be no names mentioned.
Any comments from the audience?
Yeah, Paul Clemens. Well, still, when we do a septic system, for instance, you have to be licensed to do that with the town.
That's correct.
So in that case, they give out a list of all the licensed.
They have a list, say there's 25 or 30 installers. They're tacked up on the wall there, the names. Pick one.
That's what I'm saying. Just, so we don't give out just one name. Just 3, 6 names,
Yeah,
whatever
we
we
don't want to
have.
recommend anybody, but say these are people
Right.
available, because some people have.
If we had a sheet made up, we could hand them that with a phone number or something, and these are people that can do the job or whatever, Call whichever one you want to call.
Yeah.
That way we're not favoritizing the one person.
Well, I think like with the Board of Health, they certify and they license the installers. There's no licensing process with us. We do use contractors from time to time. And I'm not sure if that would involve in some way a recommendation of a particular contractor, or I think we'd be safe if we just gave out a list of contractors in the area, or what you're saying is that we don't want to give names out.
I stated how I feel,
Yeah.
and I don't want my name on the list, not while I'm sitting here.
Okay.
That's not my intent.
And as we'll cross this bridge and next time we come, we shouldn't give any names out to anybody unless we give out a whole bunch of them, I think. Did you have a question, Tyler?
More of a statement, I would just put like a disclaimer on the list saying that,
We're not responsible for it.
right.
Okay. All right. Any motions to accept the minutes?
Barbara's saying it's right because if something went bad, well, the water department told me to get him, whatever that may be.
Yeah, that's an important consideration.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes and we'll discuss this at a later date on what we're gonna do there.
Okay. So a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Purchase orders.
We just have one tonight, it's in front of you, Tim. Up here on the table, that's things that we're gonna review tonight and sign. We had to go out today and buy a battery for the Ranger, and we needed antifreeze.
Okay.
We used to always have to keep a case out back then.
Yeah, there's none left.
I mean, it'd be cheaper to,
We bought a case.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
a case, yeah.
just so you need it, if they had it
Right.
tomorrow and you got it.
Did the old battery go back yet for a credit?
Yep.
Why does it still say 165? That was 99.95. Credit there, that's,
$12 credit.
yeah, but that's 65. You add to 99 an hour. Note to that.
Looks like they canceled each other out.
Add 99.95. Add 65.94. Note to that.
Yeah.
Where's the $12 on?
Nope, it's not there.
Did you get did they give you a slip back?
I sent David Foot from Weston Sampson, one of the guys that are helping us out. I sent him to go grab it, so I haven't actually looked at the bill.
Well, they went in there and then they brought the battery in and then they charged, they bought the battery and they charged $12 more. And then they deducted the $12. Wait a minute, maybe this does work out, Stewie. Maybe the battery actually cost $112.
No, that's a list price. This is a net price. That's a wholesale price.
All right.
That's $37 difference. You add up $9.95. add up 65. 94. And 165, 89, they never took the $12 off.
See, I'm wondering, I don't know, it might be this, I've seen this before. It might be, it doesn't look that way. but-
This is the list,
Right.
okay? That's what
Then they.
that's what they paid when you go in and buy it. This is what you would pay if you had a garage, put it in.
Right,
You go in there and you pay the net.
okay.
So they have it there, but the total down here, they never took the $12 off.
But they added it, and then they subtracted it.
What I'm saying, Tim, you add up that, add up the antifreeze,
Yeah.
it comes to that. That should be $12 less.
Laura, can you look into this tomorrow?
Sure.
Was there anything else with this? Let's see it. Laura, can I show you this? Maybe, you know. Here's the price. There's the price that's discounted.
Right.
Then that's the total price. And then they charge $12 core fee, and then they subtracted it out. So it's like a net zero here.
Right.
Then they charge another 65, so there's no, the only thing I can think of is that they should have charged 99 plus the 12 for the battery. That'd be 112 would be the price here. I don't know why they did it this way.
Right.
So it's worth looking into to see if we got a credit for the battery.
Well, it says credit right here, CR.
Well, there's also a,
Add up the
Right,
total.
yeah. So.
It should be 153.89, not 165.
so it should be dropping down.
Okay, I'll call them.
But I don't know why they do it this way. They might have a method in the madness, I don't know.
I'll call them tomorrow.
And this goes for that.
Oh, do you want to can we get more than one signature on that?
You're gonna take care of it, close
Yeah.
the sign.
Thank you.
All right, Vincent, can you pronounce his last name?
Pugliaris.
Pugliaris?
So I just want to bring this to your attention. I guess he contacted Debbie Egan I'm sorry, on Monday, May 13th at 1 o'clock. He said he's been trying to reach somebody in the water department by phone, and that he had a leak in front of his house for the past year and a half, and it was supposed to be fixed a while ago. Could somebody call him? And then Debbie emailed me, and I told her that we have been in contact with Vincent, and that we did find a water leak in front of his house on February 4th, and we did repair that leak on February 5th. And Rob went out the same day and he checked out the situation. And we hired a subcontractor to go out and find a leak. Rob, you're here today, so you can help me with this.
Yeah, there's no leak detected.
So
Simple as that.
attached to this email is the findings for what we flagged and how far we looked for a leak in front of his house. And there was no, like Rob said, there was no leak detected. So I emailed that back to Debbie, and I talked to Vincent, and he thanked me for following up with this, and I told him that we would keep it on our list, and we'll check it out, but there could be an underground spring there. I don't know.
What's it look like, Ron?
Where's three
It's a little,
eighty-five?
um,
Where's three
it's a
eighty-five?
little, between the two bridges, right before the Girl Scout camp.
There's a lot of springs with that old apple orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really, it gets really mushy out in front there. It's right off the side of the road. Now, during the winter, it does kind of spill over on the road and freeze up, but it has nothing to do with our,
It is for
our
30
piping
years
system.
through there.
Right. Right. I mean, it really, it is what it is. This, I mean, you can probably look into getting some sort of drainage in there or something, but it's really not our problem. It's not our water.
How many times has he called?
I know we've dealt with it in the past, and I know we've sent out a leak detection guy in the past. I can't be sure exactly when that was. But what ended up happening is there was a stub there that did end up leaking after the complaint. There was something that started leaking there.
Uh-huh.
So he's kind of like, well, you know, I told you so. Like, well, it just started. Had nothing to do with it before.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been fixed.
I mean, the water always came down by the Girl Scout camp with a trench all the way around.
Yeah, there's a trench on the other
And
side.
it always ran across there and
Right.
had a problem for years. I mean, my grandfather had problems with that. He died in '72.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to figure out some sort of drainage or something, or just leave
Is
it.
it on his property or,
I would say not, no, because there's a pole right there. It's not more than 10 feet off the road.
okay.
I mean, the whole area is kind of sopping wet, but
So has he written a letter to us?
No, he contacted Debbie Egan.
He called and
And
then you
there's
called
the
him?
emails, back and forth.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did talk to him and I invited him to the board, but he refused. you
Okay.
know.
Well,
He turned me down. So I just wanted to let you know that this is happening and,
okay, so we sent our staff out there and then we couldn't find a leak, so, which is a good thing, so we don't have to, it seems like a groundwater issue.
right.
All right. Thanks for bringing that to us, our attention. Emergency response plan. So we had,
Yeah, so there's a few things happening here tonight with the emergency response plan, which is these three. I'll keep this here. All right. So these three things have to be discussed and signed. Part of the consent order was to have 3 Board of Water Commissioners sign and approve the plan, and Scott Martin was not at the meeting, so we never got Scott to sign.
okay,
So I did talk to DEP, and they gave me an extension,
okay,
because I said we would have a new election, and we would have a new water commissioner, and Stu took the plan home, and I hope that all 3 of you can sign that tonight. And then, in turn, signing that also means that we have to change the emergency plan compliance checklist. So I need the 3 Board of Water Commissioners to sign here. And then, because we changed the chemicals, and there's a letter in your packet from
Yeah.
DEP, and part of what we need to do in 30 days is item number 7, I think it is, or 6, on page 3, is I need to update the emergency response plan with the new chemicals at well 2. So that's what this is all about. And you don't need to sign that, but it will be part of the new plan. I just wanted to let you know.
so we're gonna have to sign the new plan again?
So this will go into everybody's packets. I just take that out of the page out of your book. I take those pages, instead of making 100 copies, I take those pages that we're updating. I told DEP that I'm updating it, and these are what I did.
Okay,
And this goes back to DEP, goes back to the selectmen, goes to the fire, police, town clerk, board of health. I have a list. Everybody gets a copy. And I will update their copies after you sign that.
so can we just give them a page to insert in the
Right.
appropriate place? Is that
Right.
what we're doing? Okay.
Right, and then I have them all sign saying that I did that. So that I have a trail for DEP, that I updated everybody's book.
Stu, did you have any questions about the emergency response plan?
No, my side.
Okay. So, hey, do we hear a motion that we should sign these documents for the DEP?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so,
Okay, so if we can get you guys to start signing here. Roy, under your name, and then in this little square here, all three of you kind of have to squeeze in and sign.
you don't have an extra pen, do you?
Here.
Oh, I got one, yeah. Here we go.
Or was that 7 days or was it 30 days?
Well, it's 7 days for the emergency response plan, but 30 days for, so I did talk to Melissa, I did get her.
Laura, what you say you wanted to sign over here?
Yeah, so I kind of put your names, can you kind of sign above your name there, Roy? I kind of do it alphabetical order, I hope that's not offensive to anybody. So that was for well, the chemical. And the safety data sheets have been put in all the wells for the fire department in the little boxes. So
Okay.
that's already been done. Mark Emery went out and did that for us.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Purchase order 982.
Yeah, so last week, Stu questioned a payment that we made for Jason Nealon. And I brought the union contract with me
Okay.
to say, and this was
You
why.
still work here at that time,
He
correct?
still worked for us, yeah. And, it's based on the union contract is why we paid that invoice.
You got the section marked out there?
For clothing allowance, I think I got the right place here. I'm sure I marked in, but this was something else I was doing, I'm sorry about that. In here though. They have $800 each for clothing allowance.
And is that for only union?
For union employees.
Employees only?
Right, yeah. So, and that's why we paid that invoice. But there's a copy, I don't know if you want to get a copy of the contract to everybody and,
Well, this is gonna change
Yeah.
too. They're negotiating this right now.
oh,
Okay.
okay, I don't know.
Well, they're in, the town is in negotiations with the union, so I don't know if this is an issue with their negotiating. Have you ever run across this, Roy? What is your understanding, Rob, about the clothing allowance?
Yeah, it's 800 for the physical year plus 125 for boots, work boots.
So it's... So every year you get an allowance like that?
Yep.
And you're supposed to submit the invoices for the things you guys get, or what?
Yeah, we fill out the purchase orders and turn them into the Delora. you
Okay.
guys
We've
in the
always
office.
got things from like, that place down in Gloucester, you guys go to a lot.
Yeah, Yeah, they're good.
Nelson's.
yeah, Nelson's, they got a lot of
and
Carhartt.
from, Hyman's, I know I've
Hyman's.
initialed them and signed those things
Right,
since I've been on the board quite
Yeah.
a few times.
you can technically go anywhere you want, I believe,
I
within
went to
reason.
the- After you guys
There's a
were
list.
at Nelson's, I went down there, that's quite a place.
Oh, yeah. There is, it's gonna be within reason, there is a list of stuff that,
Yep. No, the prices were pretty decent, I bought some stuff down there myself.
right,
Okay, so that this is the way the policy reads now, so this is subject to change. The town is also will provide one pair of rubber tire boots with steel toes and an annual work boot allowance of $75 to each employee, effective July 1st, 2006. The annual boot allowance will be replaced with a reimbursement system under which the town will reimburse each employee for the cost of one pair of work boots each year, up to a maximum of $125, provided the employee produces an original sales receipt reflecting the purchase price of said boots. Town will also provide each employee one set of fall weather rain gear in the event that the said clothing is damaged due to the fault of the employee or from normal wear and tear. The town agrees to replace damaged all items of the employee. So I mean, this is all kind of spelled out in the water department uniform services. $800 per water department employee will be set aside annually for the purpose of reimbursing water department employees for the cost of purchasing their uniforms. Reimbursement shall only be made for uniform items approved by the superintendent, and all requests for reimbursements must be accompanied by receipts. So I think it's worth it noting that that's policy. Once again, that would be changing in the near future. Okay, so,
Mr. Chairman, under new business, I would like to bring up a couple of things.
okay,
Number one, I would like to discuss giving the cemetery their water in the garden club, the Star Garden there. That's the least we can do. It's only a few bucks a year. I think we should donate it.
What's that to the staffing?
The Star Garden and the cemetery.
What do we do
Cemetery.
now? What's our policy for the cemetery and the,
It's metered water,
it's metered water?
right?
I think that's the least we can do.
The only thing, that I have no problem with that, Sue, whatsoever. The only thing I've noticed is, we've had quite a few water breaks down there, and they kind of like still taking care
Brand
of.
new pipe.
Everything is
most
brand new
days.
now. I know a couple of years ago, they had quite a problem there.
I know, and they ran, I believe it was 1,500 feet of new pipe.
Because we talked about this a couple of years ago, like you said.
Yeah, that's when they had all the water breaks down there, remember?
Yeah. And we wouldn't know that it had a water break unless we had a meter read billing system. I
I
don't,
mean, leave the meter on, but waiver the fee is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They're working on peanuts down there, and that's the least we can do to be good neighbors.
oh, I agree with that. I'm just trying to figure out how we can do that. I think we can group that into a hardship type thing when we were gonna look at the two people that came in last week to look at,
Well, this is for the towns, not private individuals.
I have no problem with that, as long as the meter stays so that, you know, we check, make sure there's no leaks or anything.
And
is that gonna mess up our billing system if we don't charge them for,
I mean, I can work it out.
so in other words, we were looking at their flow usage or the usage.
We have to account for every we're accounting for all our water,
Yeah.
billed or unbilled. You know, we have a fire, we don't bill the fire
Yeah.
when the hose is out and running and the hydrant's going.
That's-
So we have
that's
ways of
similar to what
doing
we're
this.
doing right here, considering that.
But we have to account for that in the municipality. It's part of, you know, we have to report it, but we just won't bill it, is what I think you're saying to me. Is to report the water, but just don't bill it.
I'm just saying, as long as the meter stays there, that way
It
we
has
know
to.
what goes in.
Sure.
And, you know, if there's a leak, we can tell, but I have no problem with what Stu mentioned.
So do they have the meters already?
Sure.
That we use now?
Sure.
Okay. Is there anybody else we're not thinking of? What about the ramp,
Excuse me?
the boat ramp?
You can wait for that also.
Is there a meter out there?
Yes.
Only a bubbler down there.
Do we build the,
Do you
power?
want me to bring all the town bills to the next meeting?
I don't
And then you can
know.
look at them?
Yeah,
No, I would like to mention something else here.
okay, can we do that? Can we postpone the decision on this and we'll look at the water bills from all the town departments? Because we got the fire department, we got the,
Well, the fire department,
School,
we
we got-
don't charge them to fill the tank. That was a vote of the board years ago.
okay,
So the tanker truck, we fill. We've always filled, and we don't charge them. So that was a vote of the board. You might want to revisit, you know, all of it. Because you have the Pine Grove School, who is probably in our top 10 users. You know, we have a lot of municipal accounts that use a lot of water.
I mean, the cemetery, I can see that, but I can't see all the other, I mean, all the other buildings.
well, I know, that's got,
The
that
light
was,
department don't give us no break.
yeah, I understand.
Excuse me now. That's not the issue here. The light department's been very kind. Fiscal 14, they waived the electricity for the streetlights for a total of $30,000 some odd dollars.
Okay.
And they have done it years in the past.
I just don't want to forget anybody.
I understand that. It's
So-
something we can take up at the next meeting.
So why don't we do that? We'll look at, you know, is it possible just to weed out or print out just a town
Sure.
portion of our, what do we call it, the warrant for the
The commitment?
commitment, yeah,
Sure.
okay. Let's take a look at that as a group, okay?
I have something
Okay.
else here. Laura, how many times a month is the dumpster empty?
It's every other week.
Every other week. And there's not much in it when it's empty.
Well, right now, because of our situation, I've been noticing it's pretty empty.
All right, what I'm getting at, we're spending a little over $100 a month to dump it. That's a large dumpster. You can have a 4-yard dumpster for $60 to $64 a month. You can cut that way down, and there's the savings would make up for this, more than make up for the cemetery water.
Why can't we, have it
We'll get
as called? In other words, if it's not full,
three,
as called, as needed, or,
well, they'd still be hitting you on the rental of the dumpster. Perhaps, are we under contract with the dumpster people?
You know, Stu, I've been trying since a year and a half now to find all the contracts with the water department. I have not found that particular contract,
Perhaps,
but it could be here.
perhaps you could get 3 quotes on a 4-yard dumpster,
Yeah, okay,
dumped every other week.
sure.
Thank you.
What do you think, Rob? Do you think we could 4 yards of stuff every other week, or can we go to a 1 month type thing?
Yeah, as of right now, there's not much trash
no, but
coming
what I'm
through
saying
here.
is, even more if we get, cause you're gonna pay your rental per week or per month. And then every time they dump it, they charge you. If we only need it once a month, or once every 6 weeks, you know? We don't have to have it dumped if it ain't full.
Right, yeah, I mean, I don't want them coming and, charging us if it's not even full,
So what I'm saying is we could call, within a reasonable time, couple, 3 days, we let the dumpster dump and,
Right.
So
set it up that way.
chances are it would be full. If you went to a smaller dumpster, and you're saving $40, $50 a month.
So is this dumpster have a cover on it that's secured now?
Yeah.
Okay. So nobody can swing by and...
Well, not really. I mean, there's definitely spaces where you could put a padlock on it. But we don't padlock it.
All right, you gentlemen agreed to ask Laura to get 3 quotes on a small dumpster, a 4-yard one.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
No,
And then-
second.
All in favor?
All right,
Okay.
Aye.
just one more thing I'd like to mention. I read in the paper where we're paying an operator from a contractor $80 an hour. Well, people panic, but it's not that much money. It's only 20 hours a week, comes out to $1,600. Before you were paying 2 men to do the same job because one man couldn't drive, he had to have the chauffeur. So actually, you're saving money now, and you're not paying health insurance.
And we couldn't be any happier than we are with Paul.
And
Paul's a wonderful...
the quality of the water has gone way up, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a good comment.
I did have some new business also.
Okay.
Stu, are you done?
Yes, I just wanted to be clear with the folks at home, $80 an hour, they panic, think it's 40 hours a week when it is not. It's 20 hours a week. Thank you.
So I have to have somebody sign for the building permit for the wells in this building for the electric that we need to have done. So I did bring that to the board tonight, because I'm not authorized to sign those. So there's one for each well in this building.
Just to give you a helping hand
Thank
on
you.
that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Is there a fee with these permits?
No fee to the municipality.
So, Weston and Sampson is the electrician?
Right.
And these are related to the treatment plant?
So, no, this is for the safety. We're talking about the hot water heater again in this building, the emergency lights, miscellaneous electric. There's an outlet for the air conditioning in well 2.
This is some of the stuff that the fire department said they...
Exactly, part of the inspection that we had, that we weren't meeting code.
Okay.
So these are just the permits, do we have any pricing on it yet?
Yes, you signed all the pricing and the materials you signed last week.
This is a formality, we gotta,
Oh, we have to pull a permit. This is the permit to do
Okay.
the work now.
all right, so this is all necessary stuff that needs to be done at this point?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. And we already went through the pricing of it, so we got an electrical contractor involved?
Right, we have to have an electrician, yeah.
So this is gonna be overseen by Andy, is it Whitley?
Right, so he's our electrician.
You have any comments? You wanna take a look at those? This is the license with a gentleman that's a licensed electrician.
Is this for the new well?
This is the wells, we have some safety equipment that needs has some wiring needs, and
The second one?
Well, 2 is,
Well, 2.
was the outlet for
This
the
one
air
is well 3,
conditioning.
all right. All right,
There's well 3, there's a permit for the building.
okay,
We just couldn't use one permit.
okay.
so do I have a motion from the board to, does it need my signature?
As supervisor, supervisor.
So since John's not here,
Right.
so do I have a motion from the board that would allow the chairman to sign
So moved.
on behalf of the superintendent who's out sick? Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I have one more thing to add under new business, if I may.
All right, thank you.
And Stu, you have another issue?
So we all know the fire department's burst into the room down there, and I would like you gentlemen to agree to let them put the old forestry truck in the garage out here. We have the room. They just burst into seams down there. They can't walk around without tripping. That won't hurt us a bit.
Does that mean, do we have all kinds of keys out, or is that just something that's gonna be stored?
They would have one key, so they could come get it in an emergency.
Do they have a key anyway to the gates up to the
So,
tower and all these other places?
There is a key box in this building that has keys, and the fire department has access to the key box, and they can get into this building. Part of the key policy that we're working on, and part of the town meeting article, the fire and police will have keys for all our buildings. Right now, currently, they do not. They have keys to go to the tower. They can all get up to the tower. So it's part of, actually, we have a key. Also, there's something else in new business. The key authorization forms, we would give it out to the police chief and to the fire chief. We don't have enough keys to put in every one of their, so we'll have to talk about keys for all the fire trucks. I didn't go there yet with how many keys they all need. We don't have enough keys, we have to have keys made. So that'll
If
be
they
part.
get the box out here,
So there's one key in that box. They have a key that we do not have access to, the fire department and
right,
police.
so I mean, all we need is one key out there, and then they can come with their key and get into the box.
And get into the building.
Exactly.
But I don't know if there's a fire emergency, do we just want to give them a key? It's up to, we need to talk about the whole key policy for people that.
I have no problem with that. The only thing is, I don't think we should, have it in the big long stall. Would make it easier for Rob, so if he's got both doors, so he can go in and out, do what he's gotta
We
do.
can
Yes.
figure that, what I'm asking for, I'm requesting a vote to authorize them. We all know how crowded they are.
Oh, no, I
Can't walk
agree
around
100%. I
without-
just, whatever Rob needs out there for space is what I'm saying, you
I
know.
understand that.
Maybe we could put it where the lights are, or the light
I didn't take a look
trailer.
out back. But if they were to store a vehicle here, we would definitely, obviously, want the keys for it so it could be moved around.
I understand.
Yeah, if we can find a good spot for it, then sure. Toss it in there.
I'd like to see, I agree with it, but I'd like to see the fire department send a letter to the water board requesting storage, so that there's kind of a paper trail.
You already, also too, I've got insurance work and something like that.
Right. Exactly, you know, liability in case something happens to their vehicle and
So
stuff
we gotta
like
send a
that.
letter to the, fire department and have them formally request it.
Well, I mean, that can be done with a phone call, and we can bring it up to the next meeting. So that they had a letter stating that they would be responsible for the insurance and things like that, I guess. I don't know if we'd have any problems with that, but then we're all, town buildings anyway.
Just so it's on paper is what I'm saying.
Is there still any distinction between the
So we have our
water
own,
department?
we have our own insurance, because we're an enterprise.
Yeah.
We pay our own insurance, so I could check with Debbie and find out if we have to have additional insurance on that truck.
I'm
Or
not
do they
opposed to the
pay,
idea,
do they
but
pay,
think,
I don't know how, because there is insurance. That's why we're working with the fire inspector right now, so we can
Yeah.
get this building insured properly. We need all this stuff done. It's
No, I have no problem with it whatsoever, just make sure that we're covered, legally through the
I think we ought to
town
have
department.
the request from the chief to the water department commissioners to see if they can, we can accommodate their need of storing this stuff. And then we can take
Sure.
that letter to see if we don't have an insurance issue.
I'm sure it's insured somewhere, either
Well, I'm
down
sure it is
there or
too, but I,
here.
like I said, I don't wanna,
Yeah.
I wanna make sure we, do the proper thing. I think the board is all in favor of this, we just wanna make sure that,
We just so we're covered and everybody's happy downtown, that we're not in trouble.
Just like Old Nancy is in the light department, isn't it?
I think it's
Is
a highway,
The highway now?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's really at the water department, don't
Yeah.
tell anyone.
What's next?
we're not
I think-
supposed to say that in public, eh?
I know, so that's why I don't want anybody to know where it is, I don't care.
See, had you-
I do have one more thing, sorry, talking about the key policy. Scott Martin did return his keys, and I gave his key to Stu. So there's a key sheet, policy sheet, that I just need the supervisor to sign, and I can put in our file. So
Okay,
key number 3 belongs to Mr. Delzell right now.
okay, so, I'd like to get authorization from the board to sign on behalf of the superintendent
I'll make that motion.
to issue this key, number 3, to Mr. Dalzell. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any other issues? Okay, so we're gonna go on to old business. The issue is the temporary water superintendent. Last meeting, we decided to to bring on John Hargraves, pending that he's approved with the town. And,
Did we get any word back from downtown?
yes, we did. They'll go with us. There's still, there's still gonna be some, review of his insurance things at this point. We just got this quote today. So I'd like to get, everybody familiar with this. There's,
The original, Tim, I put a copy in everybody's folder, but right here on the table is the one, if we can have one signed officially.
this one here,
Yeah.
okay. So, I'll read the contract. Pursuant to your request for proposal, GA Consultants, that's GeoAmbient, and that is really John Hargraves, he's a PE, is pleased to provide this proposal with temporary oversight of the department in the absence of your superintendent in contract administration services to your department, which includes construction review of the new water treatment facility located above referenced address. The scope of services will primarily serve as a temporary superintendent on a limited basis, which will include reviewing an ongoing construction project and the associated quality control as it relates to the construction documents. Additionally, we will review available current project documentation, including contractor change order / claims, requests for information, and pay requisitions. I will report to the board and provide summary report at your board meeting, review time and expense sheets, and interface with the clerk of the works at the construction office or at a meeting. Engineering fees. It is my understanding that it's a temporary assignment requiring up to approximately 20 hours per week for a period of up to 3 weeks. That will budget this amount not to exceed $4,850. In order to assist the town, an hourly rate for these services will be discounted to $80 per hour. Authorization. Return one signed original copy of this contract will constitute the acceptance of this proposal. Acceptance proposal will be interpreted by GA Consultants, Inc. as authorization to proceed with the above described work. So, the other thing for the board's review is John's resume. I don't know if you want to take a quick look at this, Stewie, and then Roy will take a look at it. This is Mr. Hargraves' resume and his professional career. Do you have the next one?
Yeah, I'll give you that number. I just wrote on that one.
I'm not even sure mine still works. It kind of discontinued that Nextel service, didn't it?
Yeah, the old one. The older.
Touch you go.
This is for up to 40,
20 hours per week, up to, not to exceed $4,850. Do you have a Nextel or anything, Stewie? Or you just have a cell phone?
so forth.
Is that your number?
That's my home number,
You have a cell phone number?
yeah. 978.
Oh, why don't you write it down? Right there. And then you can update this list.
Sure.
Thank you, Laura. So do you have any questions about, John? Stuart?
No,
Can I have entertain a motion from the board to bring him on board? We need to sign his contract. Contingent upon him also meeting with the personnel people down there, making sure everybody's satisfied with his.
So everything's all set downtown.
But he's still gonna have to go through downtown. They're just voting to send this downtown so they can.
I'll make that motion then, as long as it's going down there for them to check it.
All right. So,
second.
all in favor?
Right.
Contingent on, personnel board.
Right.
I know.
He's just gonna make sure all the paperwork for his insurance and all that stuff is all.
I don't think I put any of it there for this thing, I think, with all the corrupt stuff that's going on down
It's all experience.
there. Yeah.
This should just be something in there contingent on the, town administrator. Looking this over.
Okay, let's put it in there. Authorization contingent upon the town administrator.
Right.
John Hargraves, I don't, have you ever met John before?
And,
Okay, so he'll be acting superintendent until John returns. He'll be coming down and looking at the construction project. He'll meet with you or Barbara if necessary. Next construction meeting is when?
We're actually working on rescheduling it, but it was scheduled for the 28th
Okay,
or something. Is that right? Yeah.
Wednesday.
So it's either gonna be Thursday or Friday.
okay.
So if he has an email address, it would be good to get that to us so we can include him on the,
Laura, you have his email address. Could you forward that to John and Barbara?
I don't have it.
He emailed you a couple of times. Yeah.
Just that one time, but I thought it was forwarded from you. I'll check on that.
Okay.
Maybe, is it on his resume?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the one I had was, I think, forwarded from you, Tim. so-
Okay, so,
I'll check on that, and I'll get hold of you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
and just pass that down to Debbie tomorrow.
Sure,
Problems.
yeah.
Next item. Ian Rubin abatement. And Edna Keys abatement. I had asked Marie to go through our policy while Laura was off last week. And our policy, or any policies that we have, or the bylaws, to see if there's anything about abatements or anything like that. Did Marie leave anything on the desk? Okay, so we're investigating that?
We agreed last week, I believe, to take an advisement for 2 weeks, that would be next week.
Right, so hopefully, is Marie gonna come in at all this week at all?
No, not that
Okay.
I know of. no.
So can we, yeah, can you ask her if she
I
had
know
found it?
that there's nothing in our rules and regs on this, Tim.
Okay,
We don't have bylaws, so I can kind of answer that. I don't think she found anything,
okay.
but I can call her to find out.
The other thing I asked her is that to find out what we did in the past, through, with her past experience, how we handled things in the past for her recollection. So, what I'd like to do is get our feelings at the next meeting. We gotta put that on the agenda
Okay.
and come up with a policy based on what Marie has reported us from the years past. And we'll look at maybe updating our policy on that issue at the next meeting.
Or creating a new policy is what you're asking?
Yeah. How's the board feel about that?
We can discuss it.
Well, let's put that down as a possible revision to the policy, or generating a policy. Okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, if we do any policy or bylaw changes, we have to have a hearing, don't we?
No, so it goes to the board. The board sets policies.
Okay, that's a policy, but if we
Right,
go
so
to
the rules and regs that you've all seen, I can bring a copy of it, you
Yeah.
know, that Scott worked on with Marie
Yeah,
and the board for years.
Okay.
So we update the rules and regs, it's been my experience.
I know a couple of times we've updated it since I've been on, it was just brought up to the board and voted on
okay.
it, you know. It was between the three of us.
So typically, you know, when you have bylaw, that would be a town meeting vote. If it was a bylaw or water bylaw, it would be a vote at town meeting.
Okay. So we're safe to assume that if we do a policy on that, and we can proceed forward with it, so. Let's bring it up the next meeting.
Okay?
Outstanding water bills, outstanding bills, Seacoast Lock and Safe.
So I put in your packets the email I received. I did contact Seacoast to invite them to the meeting. There's an email in your packet tonight.
After reading this, Tim, I'd never hired the guy again.
Yeah, it's pretty lengthy.
Just wanted to be a part of
Well, let's, did we write him a letter?
I called to talk to him, well, because I didn't have time to write him a letter and get him here for tonight,
Yeah.
because I was out for 2 days. So I talked to him, and I got his email address, so I emailed him to see if he would come to tonight's board meeting. And this is the response I got last night at 8:59.
This is what she,
So what he's offering is that he's in his shop at 8 o'clock in the morning. If one of the board members or all the board want to go and meet with him in his shop, he'd be happy to do that.
yes, Sunday morning.
Did you read this, Stewie? Has he issued any more bills, Laura? Laura, has he issued any more bills?
You mean
regarding this?
delinquent bills?
Yeah,
No.
okay. So we still have one issue with last fall's bill, and we have,
We have 3 bills outstanding, one the selectmen are holding and 2 that we're holding.
I think we only had one. What's
We
the
have
other one?
2,
What's the other one?
for the garage and for this, for here, and then the selectmen have another bill.
What was the one the selectmen had?
For the original garage, for the one door.
Because I think I only had two, so,
One was you called them in to change them.
Yeah, for 600, yeah, 1,700.
Okay, so what-
600 was for the back.
Why-
um,
why don't we table this till the next meeting, and if I can see that third bill, I'll come in for that tomorrow morning. Okay? And what I'll do is I'll maybe make a phone call to him, all right? So we'll put that one off.
Mr. Chairman, can I say something under old business?
Yes, you may.
Laura, is the furniture going?
Oh, yes, the furniture was removed,
Thank you,
and the
And the refrigerator?
refrigerator, yes.
thank you.
When was that done?
In the last 24 hours.
Okay. All right. Water treatment plant change order 5.
Old number 5.
Okay, so we have a new copy of change order 5. On this one here, we're to work with the electrical subcontractor and lower one of the items, $1,300. And we remove the fan at well 2. So this total is $46,154, which leaves a total change in contract price at this point, roughly $15,000. Which is less than 0.2% of the original contract amount.
Laura did, I don't know if you put the SRF info in their package that I sent to you?
I didn't.
Oh,
No.
We worked with the folks at SRF to get a listing of some of their more recent water projects that they funded to show you what they typically see on change order percentages. And generally, most of these numbers range from 1 to 4%.
Thank
If
you.
you want, I can go through that with you, or you can just take it under advisement. You have one.
Okay, so this is like a summary. Are these all your projects?
No,
Weston Sampson?
the engineer is listed under the consultant, so there's AECom, Faye Spofford, CDM Smith, Woodard and Curran are, so they tried to select several different consultants to give you a, you know, a kind of a broad idea of where things go.
Okay, so they in any particular order?
No, they listed the Northeast Region projects first, so those are the first, through the Andover Water Treatment Plant. So, and they list the consultant, the original bid, each of the change orders and the cost for them. And then there's, what I put in as CO sum, so the change order sum. And then if you take that sum and divide it by the original bid, you get the percent change order of the original bid. The ones on the bottom are projects that are outside the Northeast region, so they didn't have the detail necessarily on each individual change order. And then we added where we are to date with your project at the bottom. And it should be noted that some of these projects are still in progress, and SRF didn't have that information as to which were still in progress and which were complete. So some of these numbers might actually go up.
No, originally on the, when you first came in on the change order bid, what was the number? Was it 66, was it?
It was between 60 and 67.
So we, by sharpening the pencil, we saved 20.
Well, we eliminated some of the items. That was the big savings. As we spoke last time, we eliminated the electrical controls, or the electrical wiring of the garage door. And again, this time we eliminated the fan at well stations.
We're still gonna have that modular thing that we was talking about last week, right?
Well, this summary sheet is from this SRF people. And it shows change order percentage of the original contract bid from 22.9% down to 0.2%, which is our plan. So it looks very good. That I think what helped us a lot too is that jacking change order.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Yeah, so, since we just hired a temporary water superintendent that's got some expertise in there, I think I'd like to have him look at this stuff here, including the change orders. And bring it up in the next meeting, make a decision on these change orders. What is your thoughts, Roy?
Are we screwing anything up with holding up anything?
Are we, Barbara?
That one item on the column, he's gonna ask for probably a pretty big extension based on delaying on getting an answer back to him. And I am starting to get concerned about how DEP might view some of these things, because we do have to get an extension on the ACO, so we haven't flagged any of that with DEP, but
If we stretch it out for another week, is that gonna be a big problem?
I think every week it's, another 7 days a contractor may request.
Yeah. So what's the, that's a beam issue, what's the total cost of that? It's like $13,000.
Yeah, so that originally it was started,
14,000 if you round up.
it started around 17, we worked to get.
This one here is 13,897.
13,897.
Problem you have, gentlemen.
What was that, sir?
The problem you have, you're 19 days behind now. The week will be 26 days.
So, the critical thing is this beam issue in the front of the building.
That's correct.
Can we split that out for a change order right now? And
What I would,
from the rest of the mix?
what I'd recommend is that you give verbal approval in this meeting to do that single item. And then that's recorded in the
The only
minutes.
thing is, tell me if I'm wrong, but we okay it, and it's still gotta go downtown, be okay, right? So I mean, that could be a week or two. doing some of the stuff, correct?
Well, it's putting off, we'll be putting it off for a week, and then is there a selectmen's meeting next,
No, there isn't
Monday
one
night?
next week.
2 weeks.
that's right, there's a
Holiday.
holiday.
So, I mean,
So we're not gonna save anything. So we approve the change order, goes downtown, and then it goes off to wherever. So we don't have a, we're gonna have a meeting next Tuesday night, aren't we?
We could give the contractor a verbal, I would assume.
Yeah, but technically we can't until the Board of Selectmen, so.
And Barbara, maybe you can explain to Stu about the consent order for the treatment plant. I don't know if he's aware that we have 2 consent orders right now.
I'm not that familiar with
Okay.
the one, your more recent consent
Okay, we don't
order.
need to talk about that.
Okay.
The first one,
But-
why we're building the treatment plant, Stu, I don't know if you realize that we're under a consent order to build the treatment plant. And that's what she's talking about, the extension with DEP. So Barbara, maybe you can,
So right now, you're under consent order, and I believe one of the final things to meet in that consent order is the construction of the treatment plant, and that, I believe, is scheduled for mid-January. We have been communicating with DEP because initially when we signed the contract with Kinsman, based on the start date that had Kinsman finishing in early to mid-February. So we've communicated, and Tom Mahan from DEP has stated, well, you're likely gonna be doing some change orders and be giving some time extensions. So, we don't wanna issue, basically an amendment to that ACO until you're pretty close to the end, so we don't have to keep issuing them as change orders might come up and time extensions. DEP is usually very good at issuing time extensions as long as there's a reasonable reason for them, so, as long as we don't go a lot of days over that, the original contract completion date, I don't think it's a big problem. But if we start going a lot of days over, then you might be in an issue, and I know there are fines associated with that ACO.
So we haven't gone for an extension yet.
We're on record for asking for one, and he's asked that we don't follow through on the paperwork because he doesn't want to have to keep extending it.
I have to agree with Mr. Toomey, John, when will he be coming on board?
This week.
This week. And can we go to the Board of Selectmen's meeting a week from next Monday?
We should plan on meeting next week to decide on this, and maybe the others. And so it could be forwarded to the Board of Selectmen for the following Monday. So we need a meeting for next
We'll
Tuesday
be
night.
meeting at Tuesday,
Yeah.
at 6.
In the meantime, I think we ought to hold off on making a decision there to having Mr. Hargraves look into it, and then so that the town selectmen would be, getting a recommendation from us, and maybe on more issues, at that time to get a lot of these other things forwarded on, so.
Is there any way, Dave, next week, after Tuesday's meeting, that some of you guys can go over it and kind
Well,
of,
we could.
just so we don't hold it up anymore, is what I'm saying, and cost us more days.
Well, I think if you get the information over to Debbie on Wednesday, that's so that people can, whoever has to review it, can review it, and then Monday vote on it.
Yeah, I think that,
So we're gonna lose
They're gonna have
2 weeks with their meetings, is what I'm saying.
well, yeah, we're kind of held up by their date, which is a week from Monday, so I think that there's not going to be much review. We're going to be looking at it we're gonna have a professional look at it further on our behalf. And that if we forward out a recommendation to accept the change order, they're gonna go along with it, I believe. I don't think there's gonna be much of an explanation for it unless they request one of us to go in and talk on that change order, so.
Yeah, if you're having your temporary superintendent who's appears to be well qualified from what you say, I mean, I'm certainly not gonna sit there and say, well, I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about, so, you know, I would say that if he recommends the change orders, it's probably gonna just be unless someone comes up with a major issue in the meantime.
No, I'm just trying
Gotta do what
to
you
make
gotta
sure we ain't too far over on dates.
Yeah, no, I understand, it's just a shame that there's a holiday thrown in the middle.
Yeah, and then,
No, but also the selectmen are meeting every other week, starting,
Yeah, but I think we're meeting June, we are meeting June 3rd, yeah, we will be on every other week schedule after
so
that.
you might keep that in mind, that they're not meeting every week, but
okay,
every
so
2
we
weeks
need a meeting
after
next
that.
Monday, or next Tuesday night. And, well, that's what we're gonna do. And then, hopefully we can get some of these other things chipped out and then passed on. Looking at the change order again, is this a revision of the change order we looked at last week?
That's correct, yes.
Any price difference yet?
So we removed the fan from that,
Okay,
from which was formerly item 1.
That was what, 6,000 and 63?
6,300.
Yes, it was 6301. The other difference is, one of the items, we were able to work with the electrical subcontractor to lower that 13.
okay, so we're going in the right direction. Thanks, John.
I also brought the change order with the fan in it. I don't know if you want one copy there, possibly to show Mr. Hargreaves.
That's a good idea. Why don't we do that?
There's just one copy of that. And that number 52,455 is what is shown on this spreadsheet that Bob handed out. So if the 46 is approved, then that would change down here.
He was talking last week, John, that it was a gray area about the fan. Did you find out anything on that?
No, it's a gray area. I did look into it some more. Yeah, it's not required. Again, it's safety. It's a good idea. Again, you've had chemicals in there for many years without a fan.
Okay. I'm sorry for the delay, but I think it makes sense to have somebody better experience to look at these things than we are, so, and in the absence of our superintendent, so. Make sure the guys from Kinsman know that we're sorry about this delay. And so you're gonna get back to us as far as the date on the rescheduled meeting. I think I read an email there.
I sent you the email. yeah.
Somebody Kinsman had to be at something opening, yeah. Okay. Anything else? What else has been going on down there? How is the progress other than that?
Moving along well. 2 is back up and running. That tested, and you saw the letter from DEP.
Yeah.
That was a good group effort with Raleigh, Wilson and Sampson, and a contractor to get that back online. That actually, I believe it was 2 weeks earlier than we had anticipated, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Well, it was good that, you know, we had to, you know, supply some more water from a nearby town. It cost us $10,000. So getting that on,
So we shut
Faster
off from
than-
them now, correct?
yeah. So getting that on faster was really much appreciated.
At the water treatment plant, they're moving to the next phase, which is the masonry. And they'll be in starting that this week.
Have they backfilled around the
So we've
foundation?
been backfilling, that's what's been going on the last month. It's nice, you can almost, basically almost step onto the structure now.
Yeah.
A lot of work to get us to that point. I guess if you pulled up there for the first time, it would look like, we haven't done much, but underneath that is the tankage for the treatment plant.
Right.
And then going up usually every Sunday morning early, going up and taking a look.
Oh, great, great job, thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Barbara and John.
Next order is the administrative assistant. We had two fine candidates, Maria Della Costa and
Erica Jones.
Erica Jones coming here. What was the date they came in? Remember that?
3 weeks ago, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, I don't remember the dates.
Yeah, it's got to be about 3 weeks ago. And I was very impressed with both of them. I thought that they were both excellent candidates. And we held off on making a decision until we had a full board. And then since then, Mr. Dalzell looked at the candidates' resumes. Did you have any comments or feelings on? You were here when we did the
Yes, I
interview.
was here, and I'll look at what you, echo what you said. They're both fine candidates.
So I think it's very needed that we need to make a decision on this. I'd like to,
Which one was the first one?
the first one was Maria.
Alright, and the second one was this one, right?
Yeah.
This is the one that I really cared for. The second one. I'd like to make a motion that we hire the second one.
Are there any more questions, Mr. Chairman?
I'd like to,
I'd like to make a motion, we hire. It's a tough choice, but I'd like to make a motion that we hire Maria Della Costa.
is there any changes or any thing in their resumes that would say one was more qualified than the other?
I just, after talking to them, I preferred this one myself. And I'd like to hire him.
Okay, so we have two nominations here. Two motions. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna second Stewie's motion of hiring Maria Della Costa. And I'd like to second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
No.
Okay, so it's 2-4. This is contingent upon the reference checks, getting all squared away downtown. And we're gonna let the personnel department, what I'd like to do is make a motion to offer her, contingent upon her passing the reference checks, $18.66 per hour.
I think we'd like to send her a letter offering her a job contingent on the reference checks.
Well, the
Talking to
fir-
the town administrator.
the administrator, the town administrator will check into a reference and then present a offer letter
Okay,
for the dollar amount of $18.66.
fine.
Any questions from the audience? Okay. Seasonal worker. Do we have any candidates to come in since we had the thing posted?
They go to downtown.
Have you heard anything?
No.
Okay.
We've got to get moving on this. I don't know who's next in charge, but like I went down and moved the part of Station 2 and
I
Station
know.
1 on my own time. Because you need somebody to do the mowing and,
Right,
I mean, you need somebody right away.
Lisa Linda.
It ain't fair to you to, expect you to be doing all this by yourself.
Right,
Now, so we hire a seasonal worker, and then they put in the description, the end of June, to hire this person?
The thing is
I know, I'm just thinking, you know.
No, I'm
we
just
need them
saying,
now.
we
need
had-
them now.
We had, JD, which was helping him, and he needs him very desperately. They've already taught him everything he's been here. He did say longer than he was supposed to, but we needed him. And right now, Rob really needs him bad, and I just, somehow we gotta give,
What's the job, you got the job description, Laura?
No.
Can you get that?
video.
Right, we don't know if he reapplied.
No, I'm just saying, we've gotta get somebody in here right away to help Rob. And you said you had him doing the dig safe stuff for you too?
I've been trying to keep up with them.
No, but I said, you said you had
Oh, him, yeah.
the seasonal helper helping you doing that.
Right, yeah.
But that's not in his job description.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is Rob had, you know,
So the position's still open until May 22nd, 2013, that's tomorrow. So what I could do is I could go downtown tomorrow, and if we need this
see if we can push
person,
somebody.
yeah. So if we need this person, I don't, Dave, you're on the personnel board. I think that the position was for sometime in June through September, so I don't know where that came from.
Well, I think these, and I'm not familiar with your situation, what happened, but I think these are always positions that you hire, like a college kid.
I mean, right now the grass is going rapid at all our stations.
And I think probably things have changed. In other words, it sounds like you need someone, that it used to be like someone come in and work basically July and August and go back to school. So it sounds like you're looking for someone that needs to come in, you know, May or whatever.
I mean, we've gone from 5 down to 1. I mean, we need some help.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got a little different situation, but I mean, so maybe it's a situation to talk to Debbie. If you go down tomorrow and, you need the person right away, then you need them.
Well, we can't stop the grass from growing, so.
No, I mean, I think probably the position changed. I don't know how, I know we hired some of the workers with the highway.
All right, I just went in and did the rough stuff, with my tractor, just to help out a little bit before we needed. I mean, the point was, we were gonna need a brush hog in there
Yeah.
all along, right?
Yeah.
Do we budget, when we did the budget, from June to September? Or do we have enough money in the budget to do from the end of May through September to cut the grass?
So we budget from June to September.
Okay. So we have a dollar amount that we can, but we have budgeted, so we have to,
Right.
but we need the grass to be, trimmed. And is it the highway department been helping us out at all
Not
there,
that I know
Rob?
of.
Not that I know of. I think somebody mowed out here, I don't know when we did that.
And we're short-staffed, we need to get really moving on this fast, so.
I thought you did that out there. I come down to do it, it was already done.
So, what I'll do is I'll go down, you should put this on the agenda for next Tuesday night to make a decision on who we got for candidates. And we get to do the interviews and get that thing going next Tuesday night. So we need to put that on the agenda. That's as fast as we can go, so.
No, I'm just saying, you know.
No, that's a
Yeah.
point well taken. What do you think, Stu?
That's the best you can do, I mean,
Okay, we-
I
I just don't want to drag it out like we do.
tomorrow's the
the
last
system.
day of application.
Yeah.
For an application.
We've drug out on Marie's job.
So we need to get in some candidates here. We need to prompt the town to do the screening down there and get us the candidates for the next meeting. And we need to bring them in and interview them. And possibly hire them at that same meeting. So, and then the other thing is we got the other vacancies. Do we have a status on any of the primary and secondary operator?
We appointed you to work with Debbie last week, so I don't
Okay.
have any,
Nothing to report.
it's up to you. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
Nothing's
So I
coming
can check
today.
that at the same time with them down there. Okay. Any other business that we can think of? Rob, you got any things that you can report to the,
No, at the moment.
Is it possible to take a tour of the new facility being built?
yeah?
I'd like to do that if I could. No, Roy, you said you go down on Sundays? Did I hear you say that?
Down to, Pingree Farm,
Yeah,
yes.
could I join you one time?
Sure.
And just so you know, it's a hard hat area,
Mm-hmm.
so if you have a hard hat, you should not be on the
Back
site.
seat, pick up.
If you don't, I will.
Please,
In a
please.
vest.
Trust me, you've been recorded.
Okay.
So please have a hard hat on.
No, but we've always run back my pickup.
Thank you.
I don't think we'll be able to hire a seasonal helper. Next week we'll bring him in and interview. Then the minister will probably have to do a check.
Okay.
So maybe the following week.
Well, we'll set a goal, we'll set it quite high, but we'll follow what they'll want us to do. So I need Tim to meet with those people down there. So I have a motion to close the meeting.
I make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.